loves, welcome back to my channel. TaragayeNicole here. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. So today I'm here to talk to you about switching insurance plans. There's a few things I want to tell you about asking your insurance carrier, your current insurance carrier, as well as new insurance carriers that you're thinking about switching to and getting a new quote from. And these are some things that I had to do and no one told me, so I figured maybe if you had a list of things you might want to do before calling or going online, it would help you. And I have also changed my insurance carrier, so I will tell you who I switched to and how much I'm saving at the end of the video. So I would write down your current policy term. So log into your current policy and figure out what your terms are. Are you on 6-month terms? Or are you on a 12-year term? Do you like it, or do you care whether or not it changes? You should also find where you can go online onto your website. I'm sure everything is digital these days. So you go online and print out your actual coverage. That way when you call or go online to do quotes, if you want to keep the same coverage that you have a reference point. I would call the first thing I would do after I have all my information is I would call my current provider, of course, out of loyalty. If you feel loyal to them, I felt very loyal to mine because I've been with them anywhere from 8 to 12 years. And so I wanted to give them a chance to give me a better deal first, to see what discounts they have and what they can do to bring down your plan. My current insurance, or my previous insurance, at the time, my current insurance was able to tell me a few things that I could do to reduce my rate, and then they gave me what the new approximate rate would be, and that's what I went in with thinking when I called other people. Also, while you have them on the phone, you should ask your current provider what they show on your last 5-year record of insurance and driving record. As far as like insurance claims, as far as whether you hit a deer or you hit a car, or what they show in the last 5 years as claims that they have on file for you, any violations or accidents. Also, before you call or date a quote, you want to have at least 5 years of your address. So if you've lived at your address that you're at now for 5 years, then don't worry about it. Just worry about your address that you're at now. But if you've been moving around a lot, figure out all the addresses you lived at in the previous 5 years, because for some reason they ask you those questions on the phone. Then also make a list of the most popular insurances or the insurances that you'd like to call and figure out how much they cost. So for example, Geico, Progressive, Allstate, Nationwide, State Farm, those are all different insurances that are major insurances that you may want to contact. And then you have like Plymouth Rock Insurance and things like that. They're local in-state ones, but check also, see if you can find a list of local independent insurers in your area. I think Dave Ramsey may have a section on his website where you can do that as well, because sometimes there are rates that you get for being in the same state as your insurance. Then now that you're ready to start calling or getting online quotes, I would say keep a sheet of paper with the information and write each quote price down, terms, everything that you get, or better yet, if you don't want to keep a list, have them send you an email. That's what I did. It was easier for me to reference emails and maybe print out emails and put them side by side. And make sure that you ask that provider or quote, who's ever giving you quote, for any additional discounts they have, because they might not know that maybe you're a teacher or you're in the military, or that you live in that state, and there might be a different discount that you could be getting that you're missing out on. Ask how long the discount will stay on your plan also, because some discounts are only for first-time buyers, or for the first 6 months or 12 months of your plan, like a first-time buyer sign-on, or a military discount may not be for the entire time, or a teacher discount, you never know, student discount, you never know. So it's best to ask up front if your rate will change after the first term is completed. Ask how much you will have to put down initially. With some places, you will be able to just schedule out the 6 months divided evenly if you maybe call it the first or the end of the month. But sometimes some insurances will have you pay more up front. Like I dealt with, I believe it was Liberty Mutual, and they wanted me to pay like $4 something initially and then spread the price over $132 over the next 5 to 6 months or a year or something like that. And then the following year it would change and they would just break it all out completely. So find out, or some places I call like would just have you pay like the prorated rate, so $51 for the rest of the month, and then you would start paying your rate for the next 6 months or 5 months in that plan. So just find out how you would have to pay and how much you'll have to put down initially. Also, you want to ask how much you will have to put down every following term. So not only what you have to put down this time, but will it change for your following term? And also make sure to check if there is a discount for paying everything up front. A lot of insurances will have a discount if you pay the entire policy right then and there. Also, another discount to check with is if you pay automatic payments. Some insurances will offer you a discount for setting up your payments on automatic. But check with that also, because if you have an option of either a checking account or an option of a debit or credit card, a lot of times to set it up on the debit or credit card, they will charge you a higher fee for automatic setup than they do with, with like a setting up through a bank account, I guess, because it's more secure and it does not cost them as much money. So just things to think about. Ask if you, over time, they have a safe driving bonus that may come with longevity. So there are a lot of different companies now that offer safe drivers bonuses, and then Progressive has that thing where you can plug in your car or put it on your app that will monitor your driving, and that will help you lower your rate if you're a great driver. And another local one I spoke to had an app for that. So definitely check with them for that. But I declined both because with the Progressive and with the other one, because I was just like, I don't want you monitoring me, because that would just make me nervous. But also, you also have to ask now, what if my driving is considered too aggressive for you? Will that bring my insurance up rather than lowering it? And they both said that it does have a chance of doing that. So that's something else to think about before signing up for one of those. It might save you money, but that might also cost you money in the long run. As how much they raise their prices every time you renew. Another question I would ask was like, how much is this going to go up every year? Let's consider if I don't have an accident, I've got a good driving record, we don't have any problems. Is it like going to be a $20 raise every 6 months, every 12 months? And just listen to what they're saying. Make sure you're paying attention and focusing on what they're saying, so you don't miss anything. I had already had roadside assistance, and I had a car rental program on my current insurance, which was Geico. And I wanted to, people were giving me quotes, but weren't telling me that those things were not on there. So make sure you're getting the same exact coverage that you had prior, if that's what you're looking for. For a single person like me, roadside assistance is very important, because I don't have AAA on my car, and it's not a leased vehicle. So it's financed. It does not have like a warranty or guarantee when someone will come out. So that's not a part of a plan for me. And so being a well, I've got a boyfriend, but I'm not married. So single person, then I need someone to come get me or help me. And then also about the car rental, for me, like, this is all relative to who you are, because if you already have 2 cars, or you have someone you can use a car from if your car was to go down, then you probably don't need a car rental. But me, it's just me, and most of my family is out of town, so it's not like I have someone who can drive me back and forth to work. And lastly, I would ask how much you can save when you bundle your home, your auto with your home, your motorcycle rental insurance, because there's usually a lot of discounts that come along with that. I do find that these plans are like underwritten by other people. So there's like Geico would work with like Assurant or something like that, and Progressive would work with like a Home with Me or something like that. So they're not exactly with the company, but if you both buy them both, they will be a discount on your plan. So definitely check on that. If you own a home insurance. If you rent, rental insurance. But another thing with that is that I would consider to make sure that the bundle is actually worth it, because sometimes I feel like with rental insurance, I don't know anything about home insurance, but I know with rental insurance, you can sometimes get it cheaper by going with another company and the bundle is not worth it. So for instance, let's say Geico had rental insurance for me for $15,000 to $30,000 for $100 for the entire year. But another company was telling me it was $228 with the same amount of coverage. Even though I would probably save maybe $6 or $7 with adding that to that insurance of my auto, over time it doesn't make sense, because let's say 5 times 12, $60 a year. $60 versus added to 100, which I could have paid was $160. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Or the 228 minus the 60, maybe it is the same. I don't know. Let's see if it was 228 minus the 60. It would be 168. Still not worth it. So just check. Just make sure, because sometimes you should get the insurance on your rental or your home, but sometimes bundling is not the best option because it might be higher on one end and lower on the other. But those are my tips for things you might want to consider asking for. Those were things that came up for me and things that I learned when I was researching insurance. Now, as you know, I stated that Geico was actually my previous provider. I've been with Geico anywhere from 8 to 12 years, and my prior month was 6 months. My term with them was 6 months at about $1,112.70. I was paying about $195 approximately each month for 6 months, and then it would renew. I will say nothing but good things about them. If I ever had a claim, they never gave me a problem. I paid my deductible, which is another thing. I'm sorry. Make sure that your deductibles are the same, because sometimes people will bring down the rates, but you'll be paying, instead of a $500 deductible, you're paying like $1,000 deductible or something like that. So I was paying $195 a month with them. I have switched over to Progressive. I have the same coverage except in one field, which I think was one of the ones that Geico said they were going to bring down anyway to the same thing that I have now in order to reduce my rate. Some I have better coverage in, and some I have better deductibles in, which is weird. It's really great. And I only pay a premium of $631 for 6 months, at least to start. My first initial payment with them was only $107.56, and my next couple payments will be about $106.17 every month after that. I will save about $80 per month, and I will save about $481.70 per 6 months to start. I do know that this plan does have one of those first time buyers term things, so after the 6 month term is up, it will go up a little bit, but the guy has assured me, and one of my coworkers has Progressive as well, has assured me that it does not go up by like more than $10. I have not signed up for renter's insurance yet. I am considering the plan that goes with Progressive, but I'm not sure it's the best plan, so I'll be doing a few more calling around to see who has the best insurance. But it does have a few things that it is a little bit more, but it does have a few things that it covers that I find to be quite exceptional. But I'm excited, guys. Super excited about those savings. If you couldn't tell, I'm trying to be very formal, but super excited about those savings. If you have not checked out your insurance, definitely check out switching insurance, getting quotes. You might have the best one right now, but you might not. And any money saved is great. Great. It feels amazing to now have a less cheaper plan, which is going to give me the same amount of coverage, if not better. So that is amazing. Where Geico was giving me $30 a day on rental, I'm getting $40 a day on rental. And it's like it's a lot of things that were more, I was getting more for getting and paying less. So excited about my change, and I empower you and hope that you go ahead and do the same and do some research. It does take a little time. It literally took me maybe 2 or 3 days to make all the calls, but I'm sure if you sit down and do it, it won't take you that long. If you have any other tips that you know from changing insurance that I forgot to mention, definitely leave some comments down below so that everyone else can learn what you know and I can learn what you know. Let's share the wealth. Sometimes I feel like because we've been with our insurance for so long, the rates just slowly creep up and keep going. So just simple thing of switching to a new insurance and getting new discounts will help bring your rate down. I hope this information was helpful for you. And remember, guys, in order to be great, you have to be grateful. And I'm super grateful for you. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys.